right, let's start jazzing around now, led by the trumpeter Mandla Mlangeni. This alliance of young South African musicians delves into the country's syncretic cultural heritage, then ventures beyond. Now, Tune Recreational Committee have released their third album titled The Future Is Now. The album is co-produced by the formidable jazz pianist Afrika Mkhize and represents a new direction for the sound of the ensemble. To share more on the release of this offering and the Black Consciousnness Oratorio of a forgotten youth show at the Market Theatre, we're now joined by trumpeter Mandla Mlangeni. Mandla, it's a very good morning. Good to see you again.
Yeah, always great to see you, Mpiwe, and hello to the viewers out there.
Great stuff. First of all, just share with us the idea behind this project.
The Future Is Now was recorded just before the lockdown in 2020, and I chose to release it in 2023. Yeah. And that's actually to give momentum to what is happening in the South African music scene, in that also celebrating the voices and everything that's also influenced where we are today, and actually also acknowledging the people who've actually contributed to where we are. I mean, the album is actually pays homage to many of the great African music legends, such as your Hugh Masekela, Abu Simhlongo, and your Fela Kuti.
Yeah, and including Moses Modelegwa,
yes,
and some
definitely.
Elements of the jazz tradition in the United States.
Yes, definitely.
So how does it make you guys feel?
Well, it just makes us we buy into that and actually taking the tradition and making it our own.
Yes,
and that's what the music is. It must speak to the voices of our people and actually tell the stories of our people.
Okay. So in many ways, the title of the album, The Future Is Now, imparts a very deep and profound meaning. What's the significance behind this?
The significance is that so much of our time is spent deliberating on what other people think about you, instead of actually getting down to the business of actually getting along with life. The syndrome of abantu bazothini, what will people say if I do this? Instead of us taking the initiative into our own hands and saying that, oh, this is what we have right now, and this is what we can do with what we have. And I think there's so much for us, so many stories for us to share with the world, not just the negative aspects of what is happening, but bring voice to the stories of our people.
Sure. And I see that this album was co-produced by the great Afrika Mkhize.
Yes.
Let's talk about the working relationship that you guys shared and, you know, the kind of role that each and every one of you played in this project.
Yeah, Afrika Mkhize, well, is a celebrated jazz pianist. Yes. And I met him quite a couple of years ago when I was still a teen, and at Gippies, then the Gippies, and then and we've worked. This is our second album that we've worked together, and Afrika has been instrumental in actually making it happen. And how he makes it happen is that he's able to take a step back and actually just he's a very honest guy, very frank, and was deliberate on us actually cutting out what we don't need. And I think he's mastered that, and I think we should treasure him, and I think he still has so much to offer us.
And I see there's a dedication written by yourself and Afrika Mkhize, you know, on fallen hero Roy Hargrove, titled R.H. Share more on this track.
Roy Hargrove is one of the biggest influences on my trumpet playing and actually as a musician. And he, more than anyone else, encompasses the spirit of actually not just being confined, being a cliche of himself, able to experiment with different colors, from him having a big band, from him going into soul music, from him collaborating with long-established jazz musicians. Yes. I think and his death and his passing actually instilled in me in that now is the time to actually get your voice, to get our voices heard.
And there's a tour planned to promote this album.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be doing something in February. Yes. We're going to be going to Cape Town and launching the album The Future Is Now, which will feature the whole band. We'll have Nicholas Williams on bass, we'll have Damien Kameneth on drums, Riza Kota on guitar, myself on trumpet, and Afrika Mkhize on piano. And more than anything else, prior to this, we'll be launching our project at the Market Theatre, where Joburg audiences can actually also experience my music in the form of the Oratorio of a Forgotten Youth, where I'll be actually working with another celebrated pianist in the form of Mandla Mlangeni, who'll be working with the Vivacious Sounds Choir.
Yeah. What's the thought process, I mean, in coming up with this project? What is it that you wanted to achieve? And just looking back at the kind of work that you've done so far, are you happy with what has turned out?
I think I think we need to have more platforms and outlets for our stories.
Yes.
And not, I mean, since the advent of the COVID-19, many venues are buckling down, especially with the load shedding. But I think what stands out as a pillar of strength is that the institutions such as the Market Theatre and that are able to support us as artists and actually give voice to what we're actually doing and actually presenting original work in the form of an oratorio, and actually also being able to speak to the voices of our black consciousness as well. That was also what inspired me to actually write this and to actually program more original content in not just it being in the form of the tune recreation, the future is now, but actually also highlighting also other voices, political voices that influence the thought process behind my music and me creating this thing that we call the Oratorio and other projects such as the future is now.
But then the question is, do you think enough platform is being given to, and especially the up-and-coming young jazz creatives, to give voice to what you've just said?
I mean, that would start a whole debate, but I think more should be done. More can be done. I think we need more support. Stakeholders, we need corporations, big business coming in to supporting, just like they support football matches, just like they support the big festivals. I think they should come and support it as a preservation project more than anything else, and also development. Just like they develop soccer in disadvantaged community, I think they can develop arts, and I think. The question of developing art also speaks to cultural diplomacy and us actually being able to step out there and share our stories with the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that we are at a point now where jazz music is transcending all ages? Because it has been traditionally and historically associated with the older folk. But look at you, a fairly young jazz musician and who's a maverick in the game.
Well, I wish I was a maverick, but I'm hoping to get there. And yeah, but jazz is best enjoyed by young people and best played by the older people. And it's an intergenerational dialogue. Because without the older generation to impart the knowledge, I think most of us jazz musicians, younger musicians, are in the wilderness. And we need institutions to actually support us and not just have just us, the young people, showcasing this. It needs to be it needs to be a conversation of both the old, young, and support from government institutions, business stakeholders, and everybody coming together in actually making this in the music taking it where it actually needs to be.
Right. Mandla, great chatting to you.
Thank you.
Always
great being here.
We certainly cannot wait to bask in the glory of your work.
Yes, definitely. Be sure to check it out. It's happening at the Market Theatre 28th of January and also happening on the 29th of January. People can book their tickets on web tickets.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. We just spoke to trumpeter Mandla Mlangeni on the next chapter of the Tune Recreation Committee that just released an album titled The Future Is Now.